Okay, let's get this party started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Ouch. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports and Gaming. Well, the time for talking is over. Wilder versus Fury 2 is upon us in a few hours' time. For me, I've grown tired of watching these two go back and forth. Sorry, I have. Knowing that they're both good friends, knowing that they were good friends before the first fight, knowing that this is all about business. A lot has been said about the first fight. Fury boxed, it was a masterclass. Wilder got the two knockdowns. Wilder says Fury should have been counted out. Fury says it was a masterclass, he was robbed. He decided to leave Ben Davison and go to Sugar Hill to go and, in Tyson's mind, he tells the world that he's gone to Sugar Hill because what he did in the first fight wasn't good enough. So what he needs to do in the second fight is change strategy. Again, he says he wants to come forward and try and knock Wilder out. That's what he's been telling everybody. I have to say this much. In all the years I've known Tyson Fury, in all the years and all the interviews I've done with him previously, and what I've seen of this man since his comeback, I've said to people in his comeback, this guy is Mr. Contradiction. He'll say one thing today, he'll do another thing tomorrow. This is not a Fury bashing session either. The one thing we know for a fact is that if Wilder hits you on the chin clean, you're going to sleep. And in rematches, he has been devastating. That's what we do know. Well, the opposition wasn't really great. If you speak to some people in the world, they'll tell you that Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world. And I would have to agree that Tyson beat Vladimir Klitschko, who was the long reigning champion. Wilder didn't do that, but Wilder himself has become a long reigning champion. Consistent. Say what you want about the opposition, because there's biasness. Wilder fought this guy and Wilder fought that guy, and the opposition wasn't great here, but the opposition wasn't great there from Wilder. But then if we flip it and we go on to Tyson Fury and the linear heavyweight champion of the world, the defences that Fury has made, Pianetta, Safa Safiri, Otto Walling, and Tom Swartz, those have been the defences of the linear heavyweight championship of the world. Take Wilder out of the equation. Then you see the opposition isn't that great. For me, most of the promotion has been much of a smokescreen. Fury, for me, has achieved most of his dreams. He's become heavyweight champion of the world. He beat Vladimir Klitschko in a fight I knew he'd beat Klitschko in. I was one of the few people that said he would go on and beat Klitschko because the mind games. And I have to admit, the first fight of Wilder, I believe that Fury really did get in the head of Wilder, and Wilder himself just wanted to come out and just take Fury's head off. It wasn't about boxing. He was just going to take Fury's head off. And yes, I've heard the story. I know the story of Fury coming back, the mental health and all this stuff. That's fine. But we're at this point now. He's chosen to go with Ben Davison, gone Sugar Hill. He's got a cut man in. He's got a new nutritionist in. Blah, de blah, de blah, de blah, de blah. Wilder's kept it the same throughout. Consistency. You've got one guy who's Mr. Consistent, and you've got another guy who's consistently inconsistent. You just don't know what you're going to get with Tyson Fury. Now, for me, at the final press conference when Fury had those dark glasses on and he had the big puffer jacket on, he looked heavy to me then. One thing for sure in boxing is that you can do all the talking beforehand. You this, that. But when you get on the scales, that's where we see where the work is. At least we see visually where the work is. That doesn't always tell us the full story. A la David Haye, Tony Bellew. David Haye looked in immaculate shape for both fights. And if you looked at Haye's body, you would have thought, look at Bellew, look at Haye. I bet Haye's going to just walk through Bellew. We all knew what happened in 2 fights. Yeah, made a fool of me for 2 fights. That isn't the case with Deontay Wilder. Now, if you go back to when we talked about the Lewis-Ortiz fight, the first fight, I told you, Ortiz is an old man and Wilder's going to get him out of there. Now, in that fight, there were stories, or the story came out, that Wilder wasn't well. Okay. So in the rematch, people saying Ortiz looked better, he's fitter, he's got a new hairstyle, and Ortiz. I said, all right, let me tell you something. As soon as Deontay Wilder connects clean on Lewis-Ortiz, the fight is over. The first time he hits Lewis-Ortiz on the chin, this fight is over. Said the same thing about the Dominic Brazil fight. Boom! Ortiz gets knocked out. Oh, well, Ortiz was low, man. And who did Ortiz beat? Okay, now, we have Tyson Fury, who put on a masterclass. I don't want to hear no excuses. He put on a masterclass in the first fight. All right? According to some of you. He's the best heavyweight in the world. Some of you think he's the best thing since Muhammad Ali. All right? Fine. Keep it that way. Keep with the script. Keep with the script that he's a magnificent boxer. He's not going to get... I remember people saying to me on this same channel here, when he fights Wilder won't clip him. Wilder can't box. Wilder can't this. Wilder can't that. Wilder dropped him twice. Wilder dropped him, and he was a sick Deontay Wilder. Dropped him. Okay. That was Fury when everyone said, oh, he was heavy in that fight. He was heavy and he wasn't in shape and he was this and he was that and he was this. Fury was coming off. By the way, Fury had 2 fights. He had Pianetta fight and he had Safa Teferi fight, and then he fought the Wilder fight. And did I not say to you all, I hope to God that Fury on his comeback don't take 2 stupid fights and then end up having his world title fight. What does he end up doing? Way back when Fury, people saying, I don't think Fury's going to come back, because if he comes back, I hope he don't have 2 dumb fights and then come and fight for a world title fight. That's exactly what they did. It's exactly what they did. But since then, Fury's gone Hollywood. He's gone WWE. Now listen, I take my hat off to that man. From where he's been to lose all that weight. Thank you, Ben Davidson. To be part of the WWE. Come on. Give the man credit for that. And he went to Top Rank. Give the man credit for these things. Fine. He leaves Ben Davidson. He goes to Sugar Hill. What was the basis of that? I'm putting this before you now. Yeah, I'll talk to you all in a minute. I'll get back to you in a minute and we'll talk about it afterwards. I said to you, I don't believe in Sugar Hill. Tyson spent, a week with Emmanuel Stewart? When you people see him hitting the bag and hitting the pads there with Emmanuel Stewart, that was a week he was with Emmanuel Stewart. What the hell can you do in 1 week with Emmanuel Stewart that can change your life that much? Come on, man. Emmanuel Stewart was a good trainer. He was a great trainer. But there were a lot of people around Emmanuel Stewart that made Emmanuel Stewart the great man that he is. Fury spent a week How old was Sugar Hill when Fury met him? How old was Fury and how old was Sugar Hill when Sugar Hill met Tyson Fury? Peter Fury. I remember watching Tyson Fury getting off the floor against Nevin Pajcek. Because Fury was fighting like a barroom brawler. People have got a short memory. Fury's going to come and take it to Wilder. When Fury used to try and take it to people, he used to end up on his ass. And it was it was Peter Fury that said, hey, yo, I don't like the way you're fighting here. You got to start using your brain. You got to start boxing. And Peter and Tyson worked on changing the scales for him to be use that boxing skill, southpaw, orthodox, slick, all that movement. So Peter Fury has got to be given a lot of credit for that, right? Because the Nevin Pajcek fight, what else? Now we started to see he had that American train, he had that Canadian train as well. Let's not forget the Canadian train that Fury had as well. All right? I'm talking middle of the road here. I'm not talking at the start of Fury's career. We saw he's been dropped by Steve Cunningham. We saw he's been dropped by various guys. Fury's been dropped by or hurt badly by or hurt by. Then there's this thing about Fury getting off the 12th round. 12th round where a man's exhausted and he's been dropped. Not even by a hard straight right hand. And he's on the canvas. And everyone is playing up this thing like Fury the Undertaker, this, that, the other. Fury's risen from the... Listen, you shouldn't be getting hit with shots like that. If you're a masterful boxer, you shouldn't be getting hit with punches like that. And that was what he was weighing that night, and he was getting hit with them punches. Okay. So now we come to the weighing. Oh, training camp's been going well, yeah. Sugar Hill's been teaching me this and that, and... Okay. All right, Tyson, let's see what you're weighing on the night then. Let's have a look at this great weighing, and let's see what's going on with this nutritionist you got. And okay, let's look at it. So you come in at 19 stone, all right. And the rest after you finish eating. All right, Tyson. If you come in heavy. So what's the strategy, son? What are you going to do? Listen, Tyson could turn around and make a complete fool of me, and that's fine. But I'm going to put my balls on the line for this one. I'm going to put my balls on the line for this one. And here's why I'm putting my balls on the line. I'm going to say that Tyson had a shit camp. I'm going to say that Sugar Hill and him didn't get on the way they should have got on. In fact, I'm going to go so far as to say, and this is my own personal opinion, he wasn't able to motivate Tyson the way maybe Ben Davison could motivate him. As fighters have good days, fighters have not so good days, right? And then sometimes you don't want to do the full exercise. Sometimes you don't want to go for that run. Sometimes you don't really want to have that painful sparring session, or you don't want to put the work in. Oh, he's had a few niggles here and there in camp. Yeah, we all have niggles. Don't talk about it. I don't think that training camp went well. I don't. And people are saying, oh, Fury's got to use his weight to get in. And all right, wait. Let me ask you something here. Fury's got to come forward. Heavier than he was the first fight. I think if anyone tells me Fury is a big guy at 6'9", and he's good for his size. But he's not an athlete like Deontay Wilder. He's good for a big man, but he's not Deontay Wilder as an athlete. Wilder puts an extra stone on. I don't know how much Wilder is, because he was sick that night, so he says. And based on the performance he did against Luis Ortiz and hit him with one shot and knocked him out, to me, Fury needs to show movement. Fury isn't, for me, Fury leaves too many holes in his defense when he comes forward. Like that. You can do it against guys like Tom Schwartz, that's fine. But when you start brawling against guys who can hit you hard and can drop you, and he's been dropped twice. And the 2 times, and let me remind you, and go back and look at the tape. Fury ended up on his ass the second time looking up at the lights when he actually landed a good shot, trying to take him out of there. Right? In the 12th round, he landed a good right hand. What happened next? He was on the canvas. And I saw another thing in camp as well. He's still rubbing his nose. Fury's still rubbing his nose. He's still rubbing his nose. Fury he's rubbing his nose. You watch Fury when he fights, he's got his bad habit rubbing his nose. And that's how they were able to time it. Wilder was able to time it to drop him. If he does that nonsense, listen, there's 2 things Fury does in a fight. In every fight I've seen him in. Even the Klitschko fight, the great Klitschko fight. Klitschko caught him a good right hand numerous times in the fight. But there was one, I think it was in round 10 or 11, where he caught Fury. You could see his eyes go a bit. You could see it, and he was shaking. Doing a shake and bake. Like, doing all that movement to kind of make Klitschko think he didn't buzz him. But he buzzed him. I tell you now. Oh, you know, if Fury comes in heavy, what happens if the fight goes late? And he begins to tire, like he did in the first fight? From rounds 8 onwards, he started to tire. Wilder started working to the body more. Listen, I honestly believe the camp didn't go according to plan. They couldn't change the trainer because it was too late in camp. I think they may have made a mistake having Ben Davison in camp. He's in, for me, worse condition than he was when he was in the first fight. How can you be in worse condition how can you be in worse condition now? How can you tell me that Fury is going to be faster with that weight on? How can you tell me? It's not about Fury being weight drained or something. He's going to be slower. Which means all that herky-jerky stuff is going to be that little bit slower. See, last time he didn't get hit cleanly with a right hand. This time he will. And I've never in any of my Fury predictions said that I think that Fury's going to get absolutely smashed. But in this prediction right here tonight, I'm seeing him getting knocked out tonight. I'm sorry. I'm seeing Wilder hit him and him not get up. I'm sorry. You can't keep being inconsistent. At the highest level, you can't. Chopping trainers, changing this, changing this, changing that. And then the results of it afterwards. If you're honest and you're a Fury fan, you look at it, you think, okay, hold a second. If he didn't get dropped twice in that fight, he would have won the fight. Clearly. You can't go to America and pitter-patter and try and win a fight. No. You got to it's in America, you got to rip the title out of the champion's hands. Rip the title away from them. You can't go in there, pitter-patter, throw a jab, and nah, that stuff don't work. Might work in Germany, it don't work in America. But Fury, as far as I'm concerned, had he not got knocked down in those 2 rounds there, I think he could have got the fight, won the fight. But the fact is, he did get that. So I would be saying that because, well, hold on a second. I got knocked down twice in 2 fights. How did I get knocked down? Okay, so let's go back in camp again and let's work on the reasons why I got knocked down. Let's try not to make those mistakes again. And then, you see, he was garbage against Otto Walling. Yeah, but ask yourself this question. Was he garbage against Otto Walling because A, the training camp didn't go well, B, more distractions, or C, are we watching the decline of Tyson Fury? Everyone declines after a period of time. You can't keep abusing your body, taking off weight, putting weight on. Remember, every camp Tyson was coming into, Peter Fury was battling with Tyson to get into shape. And then he had all that time out of the ring. I don't know. I would have rather Ben Davison be with him. Because he knows Tyson better. He knows Tyson. And they know one another. And you need tried and tested going into an event like this. If you were going to make the change, you should have made the change for the Otto Walling fight. You should have the fight change before that. You should have changed for the Tom Swartz fight. As soon as you made the change to Top Rank, you should have said, all right, you know what? This ain't working for me. I need better. As soon as that fight with Wilder was over, I said, you know what? I'm changing camp. I'm changing trainers. And lead up to the Wilder rematch. No, sorry. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. If Fury wins tonight, I'm telling you, it's mighty impressive. Mighty impressive. If he wins tonight, it is very good. Don't see it happening. I just don't. And there's some things you can't change. You can't change your chin. Yeah? You put more weight on. Maybe to absorb and choose to lean on Wilder, that's fine. But make sure you don't lose the concentration. Right. Looks far stronger. Does he look far stronger? Okay. Does he look far fitter? He looks stronger. You know, what? By putting weight on, he looks stronger. I hope so. Call 2971. I hope he does get the KO tonight. But I can't see how a slower guy gets the KO tonight. Can't see it, mate. Great for British boxing. Can't see it. And you're heavier, so you're slower. Look at Fury's midsection. Look at his midsection. Can you honestly put your hand in your heart and say that Tyson Fury gave it 100% in camp? Coming in at 273, what previous fight makes anyone think that is his optimum weight? I don't get it. I don't know. I think it's good weight, not fat, but we need to see it in the ring. So that's it. Then you have a new strength and conditioning trainer, a new diet he was having. That don't happen in one fight, man. That's over 2-3 fights. You start to see a strength and conditioner. And if you wanted to make those changes, you should have made the changes straight after the Deontay Wilder fight. That's why I think a lot of it is bull. Bull. He has better definition in his arms. Means he's been lifting weights. And I also think he will be slower, correct? Especially in the later rounds, yeah? You all think the later rounds. That means Fury's going to be around in the later rounds. That means Fury's not going to get clipped. I may remind you what Otto Walling did to him in that 12th round when he clipped him on the chin. Fury's legs started to go. Sorry. Sorry, boxing fans. This is going to be devastating. Telling you. Fury in all his fights has never been electric. He's never been electric in... You name me one fight that Tyson Fury has looked electric in. workmanlike, good performance, decent, steady. Tell me when Tyson Fury looked deadly and devastating in his fights. Name me one. He sounds devastating in press conferences. He sounds like a killer if you listen to him. But you tell me where Tyson Fury looked devastating in a fight. And then I'll tell you, then ask the question of his opponent. Yeah? This man's been known to take guys out clean in the first round. And Fury's talking about 2 rounds, yeah? You better be careful, it ain't him that gets cleaned out in 2 rounds. Who? Christian Hammer. Who? Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. I thought it was Christian Hammer. Man. Listen. If this turns out to, no, that Fury won't come back. That Fury's gone. That Fury is gone. Right? Everyone talks about Fury Klitschko. But wait, be honest with yourselves. I'm very honest. It was great for the moment in time. Fury became unified heavyweight champion of the world. It was a proud moment on this channel. And at the moment, at that time, it was fantastic. When you really go back and watch that fight now, and you depack that fight, Klitschko didn't throw any punches? Really? Didn't throw any punches. So, the myth of Fury, that night he beat Klitschko, was a guy who didn't throw any punches? Klitschko didn't throw any punches, really? He was more interested in holding, grabbing, and dancing with Fury. He wasn't interested in throwing any punches. You look at Klitschko and Wilder are completely opposites. Klitschko will hold and grab you up and tie you up and want to dance with you, yeah? And he's more defensive. Wilder's quite the opposite. Wilder will leave himself well open looking to take you out. Wilder will take chances. Klitschko won't take chances because he's been chinned. His whole style was based behind defence because he got chinned early in his career. And managed to gave him that defence. So he's very from a defensive posture, throwing punches when he thinks it's safe to throw punches. Whereas Wilder, as you've seen in his career, he'll throw punches even if they ain't going to connect. He'll throw punches. And people mock him for that. But when they land, no one's laughing then. No one's laughing then. You Fury fans out there, pray hard that your boy's been listening in camp. That him and Sugar Hill have a good relationship, because that's going to play out in the ring. When it looks to his corner, let's hope that Fury's not going in there basically doing it himself. You know? Because this is what, there was a point in time Lennox Lewis's career. He had a guy called Pepe Correa. I remember Lennox saying after he got knocked out by Oliver McCall, he made the change. He said, I relied on my amateur experience and my experience I had beforehand to get me through these fights. When I got knocked out by Oliver McCall, I realised I had to make a change. I saw Wilder sparring. The guy that Wilder was working out with, he looked pretty nimble, pretty good. Fury can do all the training he wants, but the one thing he can't prepare for is that right hand. Can't prepare for that. The movement of Wilder. And it's not like I've been a Wilder fan. You who know me know my history and know how I basically told him, like, listen, I'm not celebrating you because you fight bums. I said to him, you fight taxi cab drivers. So it's not like when I started, it was only when after he became champion and the way he beat Stavern that night, that was one of Wilder's best performances. But people tend to forget that fight. It's one of Wilder's best performances. Outside the knockouts. Wilder can't fight at 230. Each 3 times he was 229. He was poor versus Duhaupas, Molina. So each time sluggish. Duhaupas, really? I thought the Duhaupas fight was pretty impressive. Duhaupas had never been stopped before. Molina got flattened. Spilka got flattened. The Molina fight was a damn good fight. The way he put Molina down, that was a damn good fight. And Spilka, the way he knocked Spilka out was one shot. Spilka was coming in, short shot. Wilder's good at 220 or 215, but at 230 it takes ages to get guys out. Against Molina, he was 229. Molina got 4 times from power. Took him 9 rounds. Yes. Let me ask you a question. When was the Molina fight? I think Deontay Wilder is a better fighter now than he was then. What makes him a better fighter now? Experience. Was that Molina? Was it his first or second defense of the WBC title? Was he had 7 or 8 fights since then? Fury avoided everything from Wilder until round 10. Wilder was swinging for all. Yeah, I know. But like I said to you, forget that Wilder. That guy's not coming back again. That guy that night, I guarantee you, he was coming out to take Fury's head off. He was all on that Malcolm X stuff. You know what I mean? He was on a not Black History Month, but he was on that political thing, right? He was infuriated by the 400, your people too. Till this day, he was infuriated. Fury got inside his head, and all Wilder wanted to do is smash him to bits. And that was Wilder's first, if you want to call it, super fight. That was Wilder's first super fight. So Fury won't be that quick. He won't be as quick as he was then. And I don't think he'll be as prepared. I don't know what Sugar Hill's strategic or tactical game plan is like compared to Ben Davison. Davison seems pretty astute to me. But hey, who am I? I know it was a football team. It's like, all right, let's give you a situation. I don't know, Man United versus Roma. Okay, just Champions League semi-finals, and Man United go to Roma. They score 2 goals, but they concede 2 goals by 2 silly mistakes. Right? So I'm Man United coach. I say, all right, fine. We're at home now. What we need to do this time is make sure we don't make those mistakes again. Let's go back and look at what I made mistakes. Oh, this is what happened here. This is what happened here. That's a logical way of looking at it. You say, all right, fine. That didn't work out there. That didn't work well. But we did get the 2 goals. And we got the 2 goals early. Yeah, we lost concentration at the back. We need to make some changes. Why did we concede those 2 goals? Not, oh, we're a shit team now. Let's go and let's pack our bags and go. No, you don't go like that. He also fought a lot smaller last time. He can keep Wilder away. He's got a ridiculous reach. He needs to use his attributes. But has he been training with those attributes? I don't know. Ask you. I mean, how many of you in here believe that Fury is still as hungry to be the champion of the world again? How many of you believe that he's really that hungry after doing the WWE and signing the contract of Top Rank and really? I don't know if he's still that hungry. I don't detect the same hunger and interest. Fury doesn't look as interested as Wilder does. Sorry, I don't pick the same passion up. So I'm not feeling it, people. But again, I could be wrong. If you want to know my initial thoughts of when I saw the weigh-in and I looked at Wilder and I looked at Fury, do you know what my initial thoughts is? This guy's getting blasted out of here within 4 rounds. That was my initial thought. I thought to myself, this guy's getting blasted out of here in four rounds tops. A guy already that's talking about retiring in 3 fights cannot be hungry. No, I don't know. I'm just putting it out there, people. I'm putting it out there. You know, it wouldn't surprise me after Fury stopped boxing, he'd end up being in WWE. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. That, to me, is a nice backdoor out. You know? But, hey, I could be wrong. Confirmation bias. What do you mean confirmation bias? What do you mean confirmation bias? You know, you look at a weigh-in, you look at look how 2 guys look, and yourself, well, you know what? Nah. It's too much. There's too much. I believe Fury's cashing out. Well, I know. I wouldn't be cashing out against Deontay Wilder. I'll be trying to get myself in as best shape as possible, and I'll be thinking to myself, you know what? I'll be thinking to myself, you know what? I don't want to get hit by this guy again, or if I can, I want to limit the amount of times I get hit. So let me get myself down to be as light as possible, or let me get myself down to get work on my footwork. You know what? I need to make some changes. As soon as the Wilder fight was over, I'll be saying, you know what? I need to make changes. And working and prepare myself for a Wilder rematch. That's what I would have done if it were me. After the Wilder, I said, you know what? That 12th round, I could have been knocked out. In the 12th round. Right? So, I'll get off my whole ego trip. I'm going to look at my team and see what I can do personally to ensure that doesn't happen again. Clearly, not getting hit by Wilder helps. But can I do anything? You know, can I tighten up on my defense? If anything, if I'm going to I need to go and find, maybe get something to help my defense. Shoulder rolling more. You know? So could I get in the help of, say, like, you know, Adam Booth's very evasive with his style. Maybe I can use, but I'm just saying, Adam Booth's good with footwork. You know, getting in and out. You know, sniper style. But I could do that. Maybe I can go to the Ingle gym and I can get something from the Ingle gym. You know, that can complement a style to make me even more tricky, to make me be timed less. Can I use my next 2 fights to prepare me for someone like Wilder? I'm Team Fury, LOL. So I'm seeing positives. Either of us could be wrong. Yeah, absolutely. That's the great thing about the sport of boxing. Either of us could be wrong here. You know, it is what it is. But to me, this isn't about team tonight, because I like Wilder and I like Fury. I like them both. They're refreshing for the sport of boxing. And there's that other geezer in England. I mean, Anthony Joshua's an absolute embarrassment. He's an embarrassment of a heavyweight champion of the world. If that was Lennox Lewis who had those unified belts, Lennox Lewis would be over in America now. He'd be banging a drum. He'd be sitting ringside. And he'd be, you know, ringside wanting the winner. It's an embarrassment having him as unified champion. Absolute embarrassment. You are the unified heavyweight champion of the world. You've got the two best heavyweights in the world fighting for supremacy, and you sitting back in England kicking it back with your mates. That's embarrassing. It's wholly embarrassing. First, you get yourself knocked out by Mr. Tubby and Andy Ruiz. Then in the rematch, you're running for the hills and running around the ring like Benny Hill. And now, you talk about Kubrat Pulev, and you're sitting at home. No. You need to be getting your team. You need to be getting on a flight. You need to go to Vegas. And you need to be looking Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury in the eyes and say, do you know what? After you two sort it out, bring me in. I want a bit of it because I'm the unified champion and I want to be undisputed. Don't talk about being undisputed and, oh yeah, I want to be undisputed. But I'm not making no effort to go to America and see the big guys fight. It's you've dropped. Your market bit has dropped. You're sitting at home like you're some king. You ain't no king. You become a prince. You become a prince. Okay, Wilder put on weight because he lost faith in his right hand. Why would you lose faith in your right hand? You fought Luis Ortiz in the first fight and you weren't well, and in the rematch you landed one shot and knocked him out. That doesn't logically make any sense. That don't make any sense. I mean, it might make sense in your head, but logically that don't make no sense. That logically doesn't make any sense. Wilder was ill the first fight. I believe that. I believe he was ill. And I believe that's the worst possible Wilder you could get. Tell you something. The first time Deontay Wilder lands cleanly with that right hand. Okay. What I do believe is if Fury's going to win this fight now, this is how he's got to do it. First and foremost, he's got to double the jab up and back Wilder up. He's got to come mid-range to close of Wilder, which means he has to be on the inside of that right hand and work. This is refreshing to hear. Hyle and Joshua don't want that smoke. No, they don't. No, they don't. And I said to you already, when I made predictions, I predicted that Chisora would fight Usyk. I said that White would end up fighting Povetkin. And I said, so what have we got at the moment? How you doing? Nicky Normus. Hope you're good. Listen. People say Fury's going to go long 12 rounds. I don't know where he's taking that weight for 12 rounds. I don't know where he's taking that weight with 12 rounds. He was tiring in the first fight. And he was lighter. Come on, man. I don't know where... I don't know where some of these stories come from. Like, if Wilder puts the weight on, he's slower. But if Fury puts the weight on, he can put on a masterclass. Doesn't make any sense. If anybody, Wilder would be more, is the athlete. Between the two, Wilder's got more of the athletic build. These are the fights you want to be in as a young man, more than Pulev or any other random fighters. Meaningful fights is what it is. Yeah. So you're lugging that weight around for 12 rounds. In a guy that you've got to concentrate for 36 minutes. Don't get hit by the right hand. But land your own punches, but make sure you don't get hit yourself. That's people who never boxed before don't quite get that. Not to be disrespectful to anybody. But when I say that, it's like you can't describe that feeling of I've got to hit this guy, not get hit. I've got to get in, throw my shots, and not get hit back. Because if he hits me back, it could be curtains. The art of hit and not getting hit. So for me, game plan strategy. If I'm from the Fury camp, I've got to reduce the amount of times I get hit by Wilder. I've got to nullify his punching power. I've got to either take that, as Hopkins would do, I've got to take that right hand away, or I've got to use that right hand. Say, here's my strategy now. If I were training somebody, if I were training Fury, I'd say, listen, that right hand, how can we take that right hand away? Or we can go southpaw. Let's box this guy southpaw. Let's come out southpaw on this guy. Let's take the right hand away, or let him throw the right hand. Let him throw the right hand. Let us slip on the right hand, and maybe come in with a right uppercut of our own. Slip the right hand, roll over, let the right hand go over the shoulder, and come up with our own uppercut. Do you know what I mean? So slip the right hand, up for the middle of the right uppercut, cover top with the left hook. Uppercut, left hook. Do you know what I mean? Uppercut, left hook. See, you've got a strategy there. Let him throw the right hand, slip it. Oh, that's the jab. Let him slip the right hand. Let him slip the jab, slip the right hand, slip, bang, bang. It's just something, some sort of strategy, some sort of way, a little different to what you did before. Yeah, you got hit in the back of your head. Okay, so maybe you say to yourself this time, right, the way you avoid him hitting me in the back of your head, I'm going to come closer, or I'm going to protect my hand. I'm going to hold my hands in a different kind of way, where I'm covering myself. Rather than put my hands here by my chin, I'm going to cuff the back of my head when I'm tucking up. So I'm just thinking of different things to do. Do you understand? Fury should have waited because he needed time to heal mentally. He's been too busy. Yeah, damn right. How much of this WWE and the documentary? Listen, I said this before and I'll say it again, and I'll keep on saying it. When Fury started doing all those dinner dates and going here and talking this and doing this, I said, you know what? He's trying to gather as much money as possible. Grab and get as much, smash and grab, because he's not sure what the future is. Good afternoon, Samuel. Hope you're well. One thing I did notice in the final conference was trying to make it a race war. That was distasteful. Hey, let me tell you something about America, which behind closed doors. Let me tell you something about America. America ain't like the UK, you know. Ain't like the UK. And there's some people behind the scenes. I've heard some stories from behind the scenes where Tyson has stood up and represented. Do you understand? And stuck up for people of non-white. Do you know what I mean? He's been in a room with, let's put it this way, there are a lot of distasteful people in boxing who more than race bait. That tell you to your face, you are what you are. You understand? But I don't want to get into that. You know, but Fury's weight will slow him down, and his weave and bob is going to be an inch off. He's a bigger target for tonight. Amen. Eddie is doing to Usyk exactly what he did to Luis Ortiz, aging him out. Only difference is they have to fight Usyk. Okay. Boxing has always been tribal. Don't surprise me. Oh, that's true. That's very true there, Samuel. Yeah, so while I'm in the room, if you didn't already know, check it out. I've got a few interviews there. We've got Bermain Stavern talking about the keys to victory for both Wilder and Fury. He actually admits that Wilder is the man. Never thought he'd ever say that. James Alabashir with his keys to victory. Dillian White's trainer, Xavier Miller, talking about the Povetkin fight, talking about this fight, talking about the Luis Ortiz fight, and a couple of fantasy matchups I asked him about. I said, what would happen if Dillian White fought Donovan Razor Ruddock and Frank Bruno? And I think I said Gary Mason, 3 fights. So check that out. And also Tony Cisse, who used to work with Anthony Yard and Daniel Dubois. He believes Daniel Dubois is going to knock out Joe Joyce because Joe Joyce starts so slow. Very interesting. So there's a couple of videos there. Do check them out on the channel if you haven't already checked them out before. For those of you who want to become members of BWTM Sports, do hit the join button. If you go to the subscribe button, next to the subscribe button, you'll see the join button. Do smash that join button. Also, if you can't do it there, go across to bwtmonline.com. There is a subscribe button there as well for joining. Let me see if I can get that out for you. Tonight, also, to let you know, yeah, I love Gary Mason. He's my favourite. At 7 p.m. here as well, my friend. One of the beautiful things about now the membership is now allowed me to be able to do... Yeah, click that and it will take you there. Thank you very much. I've just tried to be honest. I try to be honest. But, yeah. Thank you very much, Joshua. I appreciate that. So tonight, one of the things tonight is that we will be doing a live commentary, but it'll be troll free because we're quite happy to know tonight we'll be having a members only chat. So we'll do the live commentary. You'll be able to listen to the live commentary, but will be only for members to be able to interact. It's fantastic that way. It allows our members to get to listen to the boxing at the same time, be able to interact, and we don't have our particular stream being infiltrated by trolls. So, shout out to you for your great work. Oh, you do what you can, mate. You do what you can. This little phase I'm at now, it's all about just giving back to those that have given to us, and we've got some very, very big things coming up for the channel in 2020. A lot of planning going on. There'll be lots of changes and new faces as well. So, yes, a lot of work to do. You don't see go to next to subscribe button. Next to subscribe. Let me see if I can bring that up for you. Let me see if I can work my magic to get that join button for you. Let me see if I can get that join button. Let's see. Give me a minute. I'm just gonna go and see if I can do this for you. Let me see if I can get this up for you. Yeah, by the way, fire your questions in as well for 5 minutes while I do this. And let's see if I can find that. Let's see if we can get this for you. This means I've got to go back in the channel again. You should try it on your phone. There should be a join button on your phone as well. Next, it should be, here we go. Let's get a join button here. There you go. See if I can get that up for you. Try the join button. There's a join button on the front of the channel. I don't want to buy my own. Well, I could buy my own membership. It'd be silly. I'm trying to get this up. I know. Yeah. So there's a join button. If you go call 2971. If you go down to where it says it goes to channel itself, there should be a subscribe button next to the subscribe button. It's there. All right. There's a join link, but it just takes me back to the channel. I'll try and Fox. Okay. Oh, there's a join link inside the description as well. If you go down in the video description link, there should be a link there, join button right there inside the description link. Let me go in the description link for you. It should be there. I normally put them all, the join button inside the description link. Yeah, if you go in the description link of any of the videos, the join button should be there. So try that. Right, let me get out of here. I'm going to go and get some sleep so that I can be up ready to give you... Yeah, go into this and go into the description section of any video. You should have in the description any recent video. It should be in the description there. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. Should be in all the videos. Let me see if I can get this up for you. Let's see. Okay. Should be there. If not, then I'll put a code in tonight. I'll put the code up tonight before the show begins. Right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This has been BWTM Sports and Gaming. All the best to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder tonight. I hope it's a great fight. And I hope it gives us all the drama. But I do fear for Tyson tonight, and I usually don't, but I do fear for him tonight. Who knows? He may come out and do something absolutely spectacular. And if he beats Deontay Wilder tonight, don't hear no excuses from Wilder people. If Wilder beats Fury tonight, I don't hear no excuses. The better man wins on the night, and there's always a third fight. But let me ask you this just before I go. If any of these two guys get flattened, tonight, yeah, would you watch the third fight? If Wilder goes ahead tonight and absolutely mullers Fury within 2 rounds, would you pay to see a rematch? Or Fury goes out there and blasts Wilder out of there, would you pay to see a rematch? When you could see unification bout between, for the undisputed, between Wilder and Joshua, or Fury and Joshua. I don't know. Love to know your thoughts on that. Let me get out of here. You've been watching, you've guessed it, BWTM Sports and Gaming. Subscribe now. Thank you for watching.